shout out to our audience here at the Chandari Auditorium at the University of Nairobi. Thank you very much for joining us on this very special town hall. And for our audience at home, you're viewing us on TV47, our digital audience, tupateni Twitter, Instagram, TikTok live, only on TV47 digital. My name is Brian Furaha.
And I am Sheila Chelangat, but we are not alone. Of course, on the other side, my colleagues Andrine Kilemi and Josh Onsare are standing by. Andrine, Josh, what do we expect from you on that side?
Twahib Sheila, mengi yamezungumzwa. Mswada wa fedha mwaka 2026 umewachangamsha wengi na pia umeweza kuchanganya waliomo na wasiokuwemo. Kwa kifupi, tuangazie humu nchini Wakenya wengi ambao wanatumia rununu za kisasa. Hivi sasa ushinda mtandaoni, lakini kuna mapendekezo ambayo yamewekwa hapa na pale ambayo huenda yakawakwaza. Tunaye Waziri wa Fedha John Mbadi amekaa kitako tisti kabisa kuyajibu maswali yote ambayo yatatoka katika hadhira hii. Kwa jumla, hivi sasa tunayaangazia kwa kina zaidi. Andrine?
Naam Joash. Mtazamaji, unajua kwamba una hadi tarehe 25 Mei mwezi huu kuwasilisha maoni yako kuhusu mapendekezo ambayo yatakuwa yakitekelezwa kuanzia Julai mosi. Na hoja kubwa zaidi mitandaoni na mitaani ni kuhusiana na swala la mitumba. Je, serikali inapanga kubana sekta hii hadi kufifia? Swali hilo mtazamaji, tutakuwa tunalielekeza kwake Waziri wa Hazina ya Kitaifa John Mbadi, ambaye tayari amejaajaa mjengoni. Atakuwa analijibu muda mfupi ujao. Jina langu ni Andrine Kilemi.
Bwana kwetu wananiita Josh Onsare. Tuko tayari kabisa kukujuza. Sheila Chelangat,
kazi kwako.
Asante sana wenzangu. I cannot beat that Kiswahili, but of course now this town hall begins right now. And now let me walk to Waziri. How are you? It has been a long week for you indeed. Great to see you here.
Thank you very much and good evening. I want to greet the audience. Good evening. Comrades, power. Power. You know, it is really refreshing.
It is. Well,
now, it is really refreshing to be back here.
Yes.
I remember when I was sitting, not in a similar environment like this, but something close to this, so many years back. I don't want to say so many years because you may be surprised or shocked that you are not even born yet.
Yeah.
So it's good to be back here and in a different capacity now to deal with different issues.
All right.
Then it was student issues, cracking the books.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
And Waziri, before we even go to, you know, the ushuru, the tax, the finance bill 2026, let me tell you something. Me, I am heartbroken. Jana Arsenal won the Premier League. I don't know where do you stand? Where do you stand in this?
Why do you want to spoil my evening? I thought that is something we had forgotten because I'm in the same boat.
You're in the same boat.
Yes.
And you know a little.
But anyway, congratulations to Arsenal. I mean, you have suffered enough.
Yeah. 22 years was long enough. And you know, a little buddy told me.
Is it from 2003?
2004, actually.
2004.
Yes.
The last time you won Premier, and this is the last. You never win it again. Yeah, so,
and you know, a little birdie told me that, you know, you had told someone you'd give them 30,000 or more.
Actually, I wanted to pledge.
So
umelipa
deni.
No, I will pay that.
You will pay that.
Yes, I made was that a bet? Yes.
It was a bet.
Yeah.
So, okay. So maybe he keeps his word. And tonight we want to hear from him on everything about the Finance Bill 2026. But first, I want to pass you over to Andrine Kilemi, who has the latest at this hour of what is happening in the country. And I just want, you know, let's see if she is ready. But before that, Waziri, this week was a hot one. And so in terms of, you know, even the fuel protests that we did see across the country, how far are the deliberations coming on?
Thank you very much. And you'll forgive me, my voice is not the best. I've been under the weather a little bit. But now, coming back to your question, this was a very eventful week, very unfortunate that we saw what we saw. not about the demonstration, not about the strike, but about the events that led after the strike was announced. But I will tell you that, yes, we have taken some action to sit down and dialogue with matatu operators and those who are operating in this space. It is not deniable that the prices of fuel have gone up exponentially.
Yes.
Unbelievable. But again, we need to really be sober a little bit and understand what led us to where we are. And that's, I think, the conversation that we are missing. We need to give dialogue a chance to sit down, discuss, and see what best we can do out of this crisis. Because indeed it is a crisis.
Yes, it is indeed
Yes.
a crisis. And I love you saying that, it is with no doubt that the prices have risen. But you're on record that, before you joined this particular government as the CS, of saying that, a hike would cause, the cost of living to go high. So everyone is wondering, you came onto this other side. And so why the sudden change of tune, even when we are recording high prices of fuel across the East African region?
I haven't changed any tune at all. I am still the same John Mbadi who was in Parliament, who was even before Parliament was agitating for good governance. I still believe in good governance, and we demand for good governance. What is different is that I think since the world was created, there is no time that Strait of Hormuz has ever been blocked. This is the first time that space, it's a narrow corridor, but that is where 20% of world's oil comes from or comes through. Further, for Africa, the bulk of the petroleum products that we consume, the fuel that we use, come through that Strait of Hormuz. And so any challenge to that corridor affects our prices automatically. And I will tell you for a fact that now oil marketing companies that use or have been supplying us with oil have to source for oil elsewhere, far places, not where they were the traditional sources. And that is why you'll find that on 28th of February, 2026, when Trump announced that the war had begun with Iran, the price per metric ton of diesel was $642. Today, it is at 1,120 US dollars per metric ton. That is over 80% increase in what they call the Platts price or index price of oil or of fuel. Now that automatically builds into the price at the local stage. So that is what has hit us hard. And I will tell you, some countries, it is not even about the price. It's not even about the costs. In some countries, it is about availability. There are countries that cannot even access. In fact, some countries have advised their citizens to be working from home to save on fuel. There are countries where they ration. That has not hit Kenya. At least for now, we have, because of the programs and the plans that we had, at least we have availability of fuel. We have guaranteed availability of fuel. Now, what is the challenge is the price. And the only way to deal with price of fuel in Kenya is two things. Number one, the price of fuel is determined, there is an international way of calculating the price of fuel. The only thing you can do is to subsidize as a country. Or, at the extreme cases, in the extreme, you can start reducing certain taxes and levies that are added onto the landing cost of fuel. Now, what have we done as a government? In terms of subsidy, we have done the best that we could. Because before this crisis, we had 17 billion that we had built into the fund, stabilization fund.
Yeah.
Out of that, it was 16.7 thereabout. Out of that amount, the first month when we were hit, because you see we were consuming the stock. After the war, we consumed the stock of February and March, which had already been ordered at that old price, which was cheap. So when the new prices started hitting us in April, we moved to cushion Kenyans by applying 6.2 billion. Of course, we could not apply the entire amount because we didn't know for how long this war would last. So we applied 6.2 billion to cushion and reduce prices. Now, apart from that, as a government, we decided to reduce VAT. Initially, I announced a reduction as CS National Treasury to 13% because that is what the law allows me. But the president realized that we needed to go a step further and now proposed that we go all the way to 8%. That I could not do because the law only allows the CS to do up to 25% of the rate, which could have not taken us below 12%. So Parliament was called upon to apply their responsibility and reduce value-added tax from 16% to 8%.
Yes.
Of course, with consequences, and I'll come back to that later. Now, come the month of May, the prices even shot higher in the international stage, beyond even what we had anticipated in the month of April. So what did we do? We again applied, because now we were remaining with just about close to 11 billion in that kitty. We applied another 5 billion as because we still have another 1 month, or at least another one round, another one cycle of price announcement. So we applied another 5 billion. That 5 billion that we applied, we specifically targeted diesel because diesel is the most consumed in our economy. So we applied 4.5 billion to diesel to cushion, to subsidize it, 500 to kerosene, and petrol we did not even subsidize. Now, what happened is that after doing that, still the prices had to go up because the subsidy was not enough.
It was not enough.
It was not enough.
Yes, but now,
so
let me
after,
cut you short.
just maybe give me a minute. So after the discussion that we had with the Matatu, the representatives of the Matatu sector and all the discussion we had on Monday and Tuesday, we then agreed that the remaining 5 billion that is in the kitty, we could use again another 2.7 billion to cushion further diesel. That is why you had the announcement that was made yesterday. So the government is doing everything that we can to make sure that the prices of petroleum products or fuel comes down so that we cushion, not Kenyans alone, to cushion our economy. Because rising prices means rising inflation.
All right. And, we now have a period of 1 week before the Matatu owners decide to go back to the streets or not, depending on the deliberations that you're having. And people are wondering, on Monday you said the fuel prices will remain unchanged until the next pricing cycle.
Yes.
Now we're looking at 1 week. Can you make it make sense? What are we really looking at? Can the prices change?
First of all, there are concerns of these players in this industry beyond the pricing. One of the issues they have is the issue of adulteration. Actually, to them, that is number one. Because when you leave the kerosene prices way behind diesel prices, then you run the risk of adulterating fuel. And that would have a knock effect on their engines. And that is their biggest concern. So that we are trying to address. And you saw now the government is trying to push the prices of kerosene to be as close as possible to diesel. And also taking other measures. The measures are being discussed on how the government can make sure that there is no adulteration. So that is number one. That is being discussed. In the 1 week, I think we should be able to come to an agreement. Then number two is the pricing. Even if it is not going to kick in immediately, we have another round another cycle where the prices will be announced. Today is 20th. Yes. Tomorrow is 21st. The next announcement will be on 14th. So we are discussing not with just solution for today. It is solution for today, tomorrow, and the days to come.
All right. That the fuel prices is really a touchy question for everyone here. And my co-host, Brian Furaha, is hanging out somewhere in the audience, and as well as Joash Onsare. Perhaps we could get views from your side. Any questions, comments? Brian, over to you.
Hello, Waziri.
Yes.
For the common wananchi out here who are, we have to admit the cost of products have now gone high. Food and transport have gone high. So how do you exactly plan on cushioning this, especially now we're waiting for next week for you to have the next meeting with the transport sector? If that doesn't work out, and then we have the June 14th, if again the results are negative again, what are you going to tell the common mananchi? What if you come back with higher price, higher taxation rates, higher fuel prices? Then what do you do from there?
I don't think the question is about if we fail. There is no if we fail here. It's all about, do we understand each other? So that is the bottom line. So we must make sure we work towards succeeding. So we must succeed. There is no way we can fail. How do we fail? We can surrender that the country has failed. So let me answer you this way. Desperate times call for different desperate measures. If it gets to a point where we are now desperate, we'll employ desperate or apply desperate measures. We had COVID. There are certain things that we did which ordinarily we could have not done. So we may end up doing things that ordinarily we would have not done just to accommodate the crisis that we have. So there is no question of failing. There is no way we can fail. How do we fail? How do we surrender and throw our arms up and say we have failed? Yes. So I am confident we are not going to fail. We are going to understand each other, we are going to agree, and we are going to apply or employ desperate measures if it gets to that.
All right. As we wrap up the whole fuel question and, the hot topic around that, Waziri, some quarters have, named you the experts that were brought in to, salvage a situation. And now with the experts in office, we are seeing record high prices. Is it that you're giving bad advice, or is it that you're giving good advice that's just not being taken in?
Which you make me really laugh. First of all, let me ask you, which minister for finance has experienced a situation where US president decides to go and bomb Iraq? It has probably never happened. And I will tell you, and I started by saying that Strait of Hormuz, some people just mention it and make a joke out of it. That small corridor holds the key to energy prices in the whole world. The energy prices have gone up across the globe. I hear people talk about Uganda, Tanzania. Let me tell you, Uganda and Tanzania are still consuming the stock of March and February. Come to next month. I'll guarantee you, come to next month, their prices will be higher than ours. A month ago, look at the prices in Tanzania and compare it to Kenya. Both diesel and petrol, they were higher than Kenyan prices. It is today that they are lower because they have backlog in terms of fuel consumption compared to us. And when you say this, some people are making a joke out of it, that we are saying Kenya is a big economy. Is it a secret that Kenya is the largest economy in East and Central Africa, and therefore we consume more? And that is not a problem. Kenya is the biggest economy. Our consumption is high. We are consuming products that we imported in April at higher prices than March. When Tanzania will start consuming the fuel that was imported in April, you will see the prices in Tanzania. You will see the prices in Uganda. But that aside, the advice that we give, I have given good advice. That is why Kenya has not defaulted in debt repayment. My sister, when in 2022, and these are records that are valuable. Yes. IMF said 6 African countries were going to default. 2 of them in this region, Ethiopia, up here, and Kenya, were going to default. It was not about whether they would default. They were going to default. It was just when. Ghana was going to default. Mozambique, Chad, they were going to default. Check records. All the 5 have defaulted. Kenya has not. Is it because we pray too much? No. It is because of good advice. That is why we are where we are. you know. So I will tell you that I think it was not a mistake to have this broad-based government. It was not a mistake to have some of us in government. We brought other ideas, combined with the ideas of those who are there, and with the support of the executive, and with the support of the cabinet, and with the support of none other than the president, we are where we are. President Uhuru Kenyatta told us when he was handing over to President Ruto that Ruto will not rule Kenya for even 3 months because he knows where he has left Kenya. This is not a secret. He said it in Masai Lodge to all Azimio MPs. I was present then as Azimio MP. I was looking at him and wondering, really? And you are campaigning for Raila to be president and you are telling us that the next president is going to fail in 3 months because you know where you have left the country. But he was right. Remember, the same Rigathi Gachagua today I see praising Uhuru Kenyatta and saying that he left a strong economy. The same Rigathi Gachagua said Uhuru left exchequer with no money. Did he say it? Is it not on record? Has it happened now all of a sudden that he realized that Uhuru left a stable economy?
So for the record, we are cruising nicely.
Let me 1 week into Ruto presidency, 1 week, there was no fuel across the country. I don't know whether you people have forgotten. The petrol stations were dry. Ruto had to think quickly to come up with this G2G. Why did that happen? Do you know why there was no fuel? There was no fuel because there were no forex exchange. There were no dollars in this country. And you cannot import fuel in Kenya shilling. Fuel is not something you buy from Kisumu. Fuel, you bring fuel. Fuel is brought from Middle East, it is brought from India, it is brought from outside. And for you to buy, don't think India, they will take your Kenya shilling. They take US dollars at the bare minimum. Now, there were no dollars in the banks. Dollars were being rationed. Have you forgotten? To the extent that $1 now rose all the way to 160 Kenya shilling to the dollar.
All right. Because
of an economy that Ruto inherited. We have stabilized this. Today you can see the shilling has stabilized at 129 to the dollar, 130 to the dollar. And then someone comes up and starts saying that the experts have not done much work, that Ruto has not done much work. Yes, we could do more, but you have done a lot.
All right. I beg that we now end that discussion over there. But now let's go to the core of this town hall, the finance bill. And even before we start, I want to engage the audience. How many of us here have read the finance bill 2026? Yes? 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 All right, that is interesting. But when you look at it, public participation. All right, calm down. But then we look at it, you know, in terms of public participation is going on. Public participation. All right, I beg that, you know, we do respect the House rules that we set earlier on. We will respect each other and we will not heckle. Thank you so much. So now let's look at it. Public participation is ongoing, Bwana Waziri. And this finance bill, of course, has a lot of legal jargon that the common mwananchi cannot understand. So as you address the Kenyans today in this town hall, perhaps give us a summary. Break it down for us. Make it simple. Let's understand. What are the highlights and how different is it from the Finance Bill 2025?
Thank you very much. First of all, when I got into this position, I made a promise to the people of Kenya that we will be as transparent, open as possible, especially on issues finance bill, because I was coming into office when finance bill had just caused instability in the country. That is finance bill of 2024. And we lost it for the first time in the history of this country. And I think we, from the Treasury, have lived to that. We have been more open, transparent. We have communicated to Kenyan from the beginning. And I want us to understand that finance bill is not something that we just create at the Treasury and bring to the people. A lot of this, whatever we put in finance bill, come from Kenyans themselves. There is engagement. We make advertisement and we ask for opinion and views. So Kenyans bring their suggestions, and my team at the National Treasury put together those suggestions. And when the suggestions are put together, then they are given to me, and each and every amendment to the bill I sign off. And so I own every bit of any provision in that bill. Now, so what have we done? Because of the history and because of the experience of 2024, we took a decision that we are not going to increase the tax rates for Kenyans. Because Kenyans have complained, and justifiably so, that the taxes that are being levied on them is too much, especially on income tax and other taxes. And therefore, if you look at this bill is very remote, if not zero, on any increase in tax rates. It is more on administrative measures. We are more on making tax collection, making efficient tax collection. A lot of Kenyans out there who have more ability than those who are paying taxes are not paying taxes. So we are looking for those ones.
Yes.
We are looking in a way, we are working on how to broaden the tax base. Broadening the tax base simply means bringing more Kenyans, more people to pay tax, so that those who are already paying taxes should not continue bearing the burden alone, but rather we reduce their burden and expand the tax base. So that is what this bill is doing. We have come up with many tax administrative measures, where we are targeting some personal income tax, who are people who are making money, but because they are not on payroll, they are not paying taxes. And there are many, and they are the ones who make huge amounts of money. We are also targeting people who are getting income and are just, in a way, the income is never seen. And even if they are seen, there is no legal framework to tax them. All those people we are bringing into the tax bracket. And the moment you bring those people into the tax bracket, you now have an opportunity to lower the tax rates. But I will tell you that this finance bill is not increasing the tax rates. I will go, I don't know whether this is the time you want me to demystify some of the mysteries.
Yes, we do have some of the myths. And of course, Brian Furaha, on the other end, is, had compiled a list of some of the proposals, and we would be tackling that. But before we get to that, you are saying that, this finance bill is all about widening the tax base. It's not the first time that, a finance bill is aiming to do so. So why have we failed before? And even as you do this time around, how do you plan to enforce it?
Some of the measures that we have proposed have been defeated. Because again, some of the people who don't pay tax, my sister, those who don't pay tax in this country have a lot of influence. In fact, people with no influence pay their taxes religiously. But those who have the capacity and the ability are the ones who don't pay taxes. And so they find their way around and manipulate and end up not having the law passed. But again, we have also not been very efficient in applying the technology in tax collection. If you look at our business has literally shifted to technology, to digital. But we are still too manual and mechanical in collecting our taxes. We are moving away from that. And besides the legal framework, there are administrative measures that we are taking, one of which is that we are supporting Kenya Revenue Authority. I just gave them close to 20 billion, 19 billion in the supplementary budget that was passed the other day, to improve their systems and digitize their operations, so that all these good laws that we are passing find somewhere to sit in terms of administrative implementation and delivery. So that is where the missing link has been. And I'm sure with these amendments that we are proposing and the administrative measures that we have taken, we are going to enhance revenue collection and broaden the tax base, and in the process reduce the burden on Kenyans who are already religiously paying their taxes.
So for the sake of those watching, how much are you targeting to collect?
How much are we targeting to collect? Okay, there is with the various tax measures, we are likely to collect about 54 billion. But there are also other measures like tax amnesty, which we are likely to bring in. The tax amnesty is likely to give us additional 30 billion. Why are we giving tax amnesty? There are so many cases that were pending at the tribunal, which have been determined, and so in our favor. And since they have been determined in our favor, we thought that these are Kenyans, these are business people, these are people with liquidity challenges. We give them this amnesty. They don't pay interest and penalties on the taxes that have been determined. They just pay the principal sum. So we are allowing them to do that, and we intend to collect about 30 billion at least from that. And then there is the personal income tax. Hapo, we have enough space, even to collect 400 billion. But we are being conservative and saying for 26-27, we can collect an additional 100 billion shilling. This personal income tax, what is it about? If you look at the structure of our economy, those who are in formal payroll employments compared to those who are making revenue from their businesses and other professional lines, the number is almost 50-50. But personal income tax from that space is only 50 billion. For those who are in the payroll and employed, it's 600 billion.
Yes.
That mismatch is caused by your dentist who is not paying tax after taking a lot of money from you, the accountant who is preparing books and is not paying tax, and there are many. I'm talking about these self-employed people.
All right.
These are the people we are going for, plus rental income tax. We are only collecting 17 billion. And people have houses all over the country, buildings, and they are taking rent. But we are only asking for 7.5%, and they are not paying. So those are the people we are going for. We want them to pay their share, fair share of tax.
But maybe, Waziri, you're trying to raise money from people who are already overtaxed.
Who are these people who are already overtaxed?
You and I.
Now, maybe I need to come back again so that you understand me.
Yes.
Let me tell you, the people who are already...
Can you give us that point? Let's take a short commercial break first as Waziri ponders on that particular question. We want to hear what your comments are, so send in your comments at this particular point. And for our audience here at UON, please start writing those questions. Tunataka kuwasikia. So stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, it's such an amazing evening. And can you feel the fire right in your house? Right on Dr. Foreke tonight.
You know, when you choke, you have chosen. Done.
Are you a cheater?
Dr. Foreke acha kushika kundi.
Why would you bring somebody on this show who does not recognize my title? You are the guy.
Thank you, sir.
When are you vying for presidency? So to all the ladies who are trying to have a crush on DJ Ian and I'm sorry we are taken and not for granted.
You are funny.
Thursday, we have a date every single day. Remember hii TV47 mtu wangu, na story ni yako, story ni yangu, story ni yetu. To all the ladies, mwah. To all the men, you can sort yourselves out. Yeah!
Your Fanikisha journey with Equity today.
Yummy na flow kama maji juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, ibu kama taka juicy juni.
Indomie na utamu. Indomie mautamu, Indomie mautamu, Indomie mautamu, ushakubali vibe ni tamu. Kila place ni legit jo alafu korogo ni quick na tasty. Anakuma wo una mix ni pesi no stressing. Chaji iwe nyama, smoky, skuma, ingo homa yai, imdojo na mabesti. Tamu jo alafu, jwani easy na ni tasty. Vibe una ni life ni mautamu bila stressing. Indomie mautamu, Indomie mautamu, Indomie mautamu, mautamu, quick and easy, vibe uplifting na flavor mbichi, bei rahisi, ina nice one time ina donjo, acha nikupanga acha nikushovile na control. Indomie na flavor sisi meja kwa bombo, sunda maji ongeza, weka kitu kwa jiko, meka mali kwa sinia unatandaza, mixing changanya vibe ni mautamu. Indomie, furahia mlo mtamu.
Kisha, empowering women, fueling prosperity through networking, entrepreneurial training, and financial support. Start your Funny Kisha journey with Equity today.
Do you know what's inside that prepackaged food? Those unhealthy ultra-processed foods high in sugar, salt, or unhealthy fats can lead to diseases.
According to the Ministry of Health, approximately 39% of all deaths in Kenya are as a result of non-communicable diseases such as obesity, diabetes, cancer, and high blood pressure. The foods and drinks we consume every day can affect our health more than we realize.
Clear information on packages about what's in our food can help us have a healthy diet. From the Food Policy Coalition Kenya.
Azam TV, your favorite pay TV, just got even better. Effective 1st March 2026, we have added 5 amazing new TV channels to keep you entertained day and night. AMC Movies and Nolly Africa for the best of Nollywood movies and series. Music Box Hits and Music Box Dance for non-stop music hits and dance. And Manchester United TV for football fans. More movies, more music, more sports. All in one place. Safaricom Chapa Dimba is back. Season 5. Bigger, louder, unstoppable.
Safaricom is on the hunt for the next big footballing sensation. Register your team. Visit chapadimba.safaricom.co.ke and you too can be the next football star. Cheza kama wewe.
From 11th June to 19th July, everything can wait. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Get DStv access for as little as 1,450 Kenya shillings today.
Skia, ni juicy. Flavor zote tamu tena fruity. Yummy na flow kama maji, juu ni tamu kama sali. Ni juicy. Are you bored? Kuna vitu zinakuudhi, usijali my bro, hebu kama taka juicy juni.
19th July, kila kitu inaweza ngoja. The FIFA World Cup 2026. Reconnect GOtv yako for only 999 shillings today. Only on GOtv. Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. We might fail. We will probably fail, but not for a lack of trying. So for the last time, and the first time, welcome to Connect In, the best experience in Eastern Central Africa and its environs.
Saturday at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Sundays at 8:30 p.m.
Good morning. You have my rent? Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza hii simu yako. Hamna pesa. I need 3 G's to make my nails today. Sasa hivi natuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimewekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Ikikunywa maji.
Oh my God. You left me. Nitumie ni line.
Uko nje kuna Wi-Fi.
Why? Hi-Fi?
Wait, so what do we call this dish again?
I have no idea.
The cucumbers are there specifically for my beauty routine.
Tamulini kero umeka kwa beauty product.
Na ameenda.
Tunafaa tukuwe na logo yetu. Si ni brand already.
You won't entertain divas.
No. I'm not dealing with a man child.
Amazing. Nishapenda hii energy.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Saturdays, 10 a.m.
This is my first time here.
Hopefully it's my last. My dear friends, here we are, all in our true colors.
Your transfer papers, your key to the Mvule kingdom.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I know.
Here are your clippers. Clippers. Who's in? We are prefects. We run this place. So let's act like it.
Solomon, the head prefect, quick. Is my collar straight?
We'll be out of Mvule High before you can pronounce the word scholarship.
We have a mystery to solve. The only way we can make a difference is if we stick together.
When I'm head prefect, each and every student will have a voice.
We need to show that new squeak in Mvule.
I hate this school!
Prefect, Saturdays, 10 a.m. on TV47.
Welcome back. This is the Town Hall on TV47 on the Finance Bill 2026. Of course, with me is CS Treasury John Mbadi. And just before the break, Waziri, we asked you a question. Are you taxing people who are already overtaxed?
Not really, Sheila. Sheila, the people we want to tax are not those who are paying taxes already. Those who are paying taxes already, we know them. And of course, we even need to reduce taxes on those who are already paying taxes. And we have even communicated, the president spoke about it, I spoke about it, and we are still considering it, even in this finance bill before it is passed by 30th of June. We want to look for ways of lowering the tax rates for those who are already paying income tax. But there are people who are supposed to pay tax and they are not paying tax. For example, consultants. Do you want to charge, or those who are already earning, paying taxes, those who are earning 50,000, 100,000, do you want to tax those ones more, or you want to tax a consultant who makes, in 2 days, he has made what you earn the whole month? Yet they are not paying taxes. Those are the people we want to also pay tax. And we are just going for what the law says. That the law requires that anybody who gets income should pay tax. But we have so many Kenyans out here, and they're the ones who make millions and millions of shillings. But they are not paying tax. Yet those of us who are on the payroll, those of us who buy bread, sugar, etc., we pay tax. But there are people who are earning that kind of money are not paying taxes. So those are the people we are going for. I want to give you this example of rental income again. Rental income tax, it's not the house you stay in. It's not the house you live in. We are not taxing you for the house you live in. If you build your house and you stay in it, we are not asking you to pay tax. But if you invest, like any other person would buy his wares and sell, they pay tax. If you decide not to to run a hardware, for example, and you invest in houses, and you are getting rental income, instead of even paying 30%, we are asking you to pay only 7.5% of that income that you get. Is that too much to ask for? I don't think so. What we need is fair tax regime, where everybody with ability to pay their fair share of tax. That is the problem we have in Kenya, that a few people are burdened. That is why you see the riots, because we have for so many years been going for the easy ones. We are raising taxes on income because it is easy. We know how many people are employed by the University of Nairobi. We know how many people are employed in the county government of Nairobi or Kisumu or whichever. But there are people who run big businesses in town, big consultancies, making huge amounts of money. They are not paying taxes. Those are the people we are saying, please pay your fair share, so that these are the people who are also employed. They pay their fair share. We should be lower than what we are paying today.
All right, that is a fair answer from you, Waziri. And I am not alone. I have my colleagues with me. That is Josh Onsare, Andrine Kilemi, and of course Brian Furaha, who are hanging out on the other side, which is the audience. Josh, hapo ambapo umeketi wanasema vipi?
Mengi yapo, na wakati ambapo unazidi kumhoji waziri, kuna mengi ambayo yanajitokeza. Waziri, tutumie lugha hii ya Kiswahili kwa sababu wengi wataelewa zaidi. Tunapozungumzia yale mapendekezo ambayo yamewekwa katika simu. Hivi sasa kwa wastani nchini Kenya, wale ambao wanatumia simu za kisasa, smartphones, wanashinda mtandaoni kwa wastani saa 4 hivi. Labda haya mapendekezo huoni kwamba yatakuja kuwadhuru wa Kenya tunapoendelea kufanya maoni na vile vile kuchukua maoni?
You know, there are things that you cannot say in Kiswahili. You know, so attempting to address an answer in Kiswahili will just be distorting the very sense of the bill, because the bill is actually written in English. And
you know, Waziri, that was
a
question from me as well. You know, we are trying to make people understand this, but misinformation flies around. So how do you ensure that we are understanding it? Could the bill be done in Swahili as well?
Maybe that's something we need to think about going forward, because all along bills in Kenya have been drafted in English. We haven't thought of, probably I think is something that we should look into going forward. We had our standing orders in English, but they were translated into Kiswahili. All our legislations are in English. Kenya has been an English-speaking country, although we pretend to also be speaking Kiswahili.
All right.
So now the problem is you are giving it the wrong person to translate.
All right.
I wish we had a better expert on this. I'm not an expert.
I could translate that question for you into English. You know, he's asking about now the tax that has been imposed on mobile phones.
No, actually, the question understood.
Yes.
Then
give us an answer.
what I don't want to attempt, Sheila,
Yes.
is to answer it in Kiswahili.
Just attempt in English.
Yeah, so I will address it in English. But I think the question that I've been asked is simply about this taxation of phones that are imported into the country. And I want to say that this has been misrepresented. People are saying we are increasing excise duty from 10% to 25%, making mobile phones more expensive. Far from it. These are the facts. Today, there are various taxes on telephones. If you bring your telephone from anywhere in the world, you arrive with it at the port, whether Jomo Kenyatta International Airport or at the port of Mombasa, there are taxes. So let me take you through the taxes. Tax number one is VAT. Right? So when you pay VAT at the point of entry, that is a tax. You pay excise duty at 10%. VAT is at 16%. All right? Excise duty, 10%. Then there is what we call custom duty, 25%. Then there is import declaration fee, is at 2%. Then there is railway development levy, 2.5%. If you add all that, is 55.5%. Now we are saying, don't do that. We are not going to ask you to pay anything at the port of entry. Bring your phone the way you want it, bring it through Namanga, bring it through Mombasa, bring it through JKIA, no one will bother you. You walk with it, you can carry it, you can carry a whole container of phones, go to your store. Keep it as long as you want. But the day you sell it to Sheila, and Sheila decides to use it, activate it, now we are coming for our tax. But the tax we are coming for is one. We will not ask you VAT, we will not ask you those customs duty, we will not ask you IDL, all those railway development levy. We are asking you for only one tax, that is excise duty, at 25%. Okay? So, if you aggregate taxes at the point of entry, which we are removing, and only charging one tax at the point of activation, is 25%. So you are solving how many problems? Many problems. Number one, you are making tax simple. Very simple. Because it is one, and you don't have to calculate VAT, what, along the supply chain until it reaches Kisumu, wherever. No. One tax. Number two, which you are also correcting, is that if the phone has not been sold, no one is paying tax. So you are not tying people's money before they sell. These traders want liquidity. Don't tie their money. They have already paid you tax, and the phone has not been sold out. It's still in the store. It has already incurred expenses. We are removing that and only taxing a phone that has been sold. How easy can it be than that? And that is what you see these propagandists around. Either they don't understand, or they have problems with understanding, or both. So then they come and tell you a lot of propaganda.
All right, guys, mobile phones are our day-to-day. So are we satisfied with that proposal? No? All right, I'll be getting now your feedback on that. It's okay. There's yes and no on that. Josh Ansari, before you pass the baton to Andren Kilemi, any further comments?
Asante sana Sheila. Tusikilize baadhi ya yale ambayo hadhira yetu inafaa izungumzie, na iwapo una swali nyanyua mkono wako juu ili tuweze kuzungumza. Kuna kijana hapa, cha tusikilize sauti zao. Unasema jina lako alafu swali lako kwa kifupi kwa waziri.
Thank you so much. Mimi naitwa, my name is Wainaina Gishere. I'm a Arsenal supporter and from the deepest village in Nyeri called Wamunyoro. Now, Waziri, I have a question on fuel. There is a proposal from my brother, a very sharp brother of mine from Kiharu. He's saying that we make fuel VAT exempt, we reduce fuel levy by 7%, we also reduce importation margin by around 4 shillings per liter, and then we provide 5 billion to subsidize diesel. Can that work? and when will that work? My second question, very fast. You've said there's a proposal to tax those who are not paying tax.
Back to the VAT exempt.
Make fuel VAT exempt.
7 shillings,
Yeah,
I think.
And reduce importation margin for those who are importing by 4 shillings.
Importation margin by 4 shillings.
And then provide 5 billion to subsidize fuel. My second question, very fast, is on, you've said we are proposing taxes on those who are not paying tax. But the services that these people who are not paying tax, they are directly affecting the Kenyans, the common mwananchis. I think the proposals that are being proposed in the finance bill should come hand in hand with measures to caution Kenyans from these people who are not paying tax. If you introduce a 16% VAT on M-Pesa, what measures are we taking to make sure that this M-Pesa VAT is not I'm not paying that 16%. Instead, it's the provider that is paying.
Okay, fantastic. I think let's get one question before you answer that, Waziri. One question around the mobile phones. Around the mobile phones. All right, at the back there.
Sauti. Tusikilize.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
In Kenyan law, Act 46, Article 43, Article 40, and Article 31, it says that a Kenyan has a financial freedom. Then why is it that in the financial bill it said that like you have a right to M-Pesa? And kindly, where did that act of financial bill went to like what to protect our rights?
I think I've understood that.
All right. Those we will be sampling. All right. I do ask you to let's keep calm, let's keep order as we let Waziri answer those 3 questions that have been raised. Waziri, take the floor.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Let me address my friend Wainaina from Wamunyoro. Actually, he's the one who said it's from Wamunyoro. This 16% VAT on M-Pesa, I don't know where you've got it from. But I don't think we have that.
Maybe you could bust that myth. Why is he misinformed?
Yeah, but because my friend here, Wainaina, I'm sure, can access website of Treasury and even Parliament to see the correct bill. Because of course I don't blame you. You know, there have been so many finance bills flying around.
Yes.
No. There is no tax on financial services. I think what you are talking about is the card. The card services. The card has nothing to do with M-Pesa. Those card services. Those people who have innovated the cards supply that service to who? To the banks, isn't it? Are they not getting income from the bank? And most of them are not Kenyans. But they get away with the money without paying any tax. Is that the country we want to live in?
How do we ensure that these people do not transform
That is now what we come to the procedure. We now have KRA and the banks to agree on how to implement. Ours here is to put in place legal framework. Then now, how to implement it, that is administrative. That will have to be dealt with. Now, on the issue of Ndindi Nyoro, first of all, tell him, he's saying that we should provide 5 billion to subsidize fuel. Tell him we did that before he said it. We provided 5 billion, and I said it here, and we have now even added another 2.7 billion. The first month, we supplied 6.2 billion. The second month, it was 5. We have already provided 11.2. We are even adding 2.7. So tell him we are at 13.9, way beyond the 5 billion. His 5 billion would leave the prices of fuel very high. In fact, diesel would go to 300. So tell him he's not an expert, if that is this thinking. On VAT exempt, it is easy, very easy to say, put VAT at 0. My friend, let me address you through
Yes,
Sheila.
yes.
Sheila, the 8% drop in VAT, we lost 12 billion in 1 month. And up to the end of June, we will lose 24 billion already. We are implementing a budget. We are already in May. Almost the entire development budget has been implemented. So you can't cut it. Money must be transferred to counties. I'll tell you, already KRA has a shortfall as we speak. Where are we going to get more money? It is easy to say, remove VAT. That hole, where will we get that money? Do we go and borrow more loans from the domestic market? Because now we cannot negotiate with any external financier to support us. We cannot even go to the external market. The external market today is not existing because of the war in Iran. You can't even get Eurobond today. I don't know whether you're aware of that. So the only option available for us is either to stop paying people's salary up to the end of June, or reduce people's salary, the public servants, those who are in the payroll. We reduce their salary. Or, because that is what is left, we have salary up to June. Can we cut their salary? They will go to court. Number two, we can go to the domestic market and borrow more. What has Kenyans been saying? What have you been saying? You have been saying, please don't overborrow. So, as we talk of fixing this short-term crisis with measures as removing taxes, let us also think of the consequences. But I'm not saying that cannot be done. That is why I said desperate times call for desperate measures.
Right.
If that is where it will come to, and government will make that decision, so be it, but there will be consequences. And then, on the issue of fuel levy of 7 shillings, you know, Ndindi, my friend Ndindi is becoming just notorious and mischievous. He knows very well that 7 shillings is not there. That 7 shilling has been sold. That 7 shilling has helped us to raise money to restart all the road projects that we are seeing across the country. It is not money that is available to us anymore. It's money that we have used to do the Mau Mau roads. They had stalled. Uhuru Kenyatta left them stalled. The roads in Suba were stalled. The roads, yes, like Stindo. The road in northern Kenya, which was being done, had stalled. The contractors had left the site. All these roads, including in Mombasa, Ndongokundu and the rest, those roads have been restarted and they are going on.
All right.
Now, that money was used to raise money to do these roads. And he's saying that that money should be removed from the field. It is not there. We had sold that right.
All right. There was a last question. I don't know if we got
No, the
it
last
right.
question, which she asked, I'm trying to remember.
All right. She's speaking on M-Pesa.
Yeah, no, I got it. Actually, I think the question my sister was asking was about financial data, security of data. You know, there's been that discussion. If I'm wrong, you can correct me. But I think you are asking whether now we will access your financial records and details. And you are quoting the Article 43, the rights to housing, right to health, and you are, I think, quoting Article 10, freedom, many other freedoms. But let me tell you, let me be very candid on this. Financial records should never be kept secret. If you allow people to keep their financial records, no one will pay taxes. Financial record, there is nothing secret about financial record. We are not asking you about who is your boyfriend or your girlfriend. KRA will not come for that. Those are now private information. But financial data and statistics should be clear. That is why even companies, today, if I ask you, for example, Equity, if Equity decides that they want to keep their financial data secret, that they don't want to declare how much they have made in terms of interest on loans, who will pay tax in this country? And yet, there are people who have been hiding behind data privacy not to declare other sources of income they have. You find people having billions of shillings, millions of shillings in their accounts, and they are filing nil return. They are filing nil return that a whole year they have made zero return. Nothing. They have not made any money. Yet, they have 50 million, they are going to buy an apartment. How unfair can that be? Yet you, Sheila, out of your salary, I guess maybe you earn more, but let's say you earn 100,000. That 100,000, you are surrendering not less than 30,000 to us. Is that not correct? Yet, someone who has 50 million somewhere, not explained, he is buying apartments all over the place, and when you go for that money, you are told you are infringing on their privacy. My friends, in this hall, I don't even see those people we are going for. You are not here. Those people are out there. Don't protect them. Let us go for that tax so that we can reduce the little tax on the little income you make.
All right. From there, I want to hand it over to Andrine Kilemi on the other side. Andrine, talk to us.
All right. Asante sana Sheila Cherengat na waziri. Waziri niko upande huu wako wa kulia. Naam, hapa. Asante sana. Unajua katika mazungumzo yako waziri umekuwa ukirejelea propaganda kwamba kuna watu au wananchi ambao hawaelewi kidogo kuhusiana na vitu ambavyo viko kwenye mswada wa fedha wa mwaka 2026. Kwa hivyo wizara yako inafanya nini kuhakikisha kwamba hizi propaganda zinasitishwa? Kwa sababu kwa upande wangu ni kana kwamba hamjafanya vya kutosha kuweza kucreate awareness ambayo tunasema ni kule kuwahamasisha wananchi zaidi.
Thank you very much. I agree with you that sometimes we have not communicated properly and effectively some of these tax measures that have been proposed, including even the budget. But again, you'll agree with me that the direction we have taken or the trajectory that National Treasury is taking has changed. One of those what I would call public participation forums is this one. Look at the number that we have in the hall. And I'm sure those who are watching out there are even more. So this is the kind of engagement that is making people more and more enlightened. And the way we produce the finance bill, we started the discussion immediately. So people have discussed and brought propaganda. We have explained those propaganda to where we are, including taxing rental income at 10%, up from 7.5. It is not in the bill. Yeah, and we have explained that. Yet, the initial reaction was that that is something that is in our bill. So we are communicating, we are educating ourselves, and we will do more going forward. But Parliament, National Assembly, is also doing the same as we speak. But we have made some tremendous progress in terms of engaging.
Asante sana kwa hilo waziri. Labda swali langu la pili ni kuhusiana na wananchi sasa wana muda wa hadi Mei tarehe 25 mwezi huu kuwasilisha maoni yao kuhusiana na mapendekezo ambayo yatakuwa yakitekelezwa kuanzia Julai mosi. Je, hii ni formality au ni kitu ambacho kitazingatiwa kwa undani iwapo Wakenya watapinga basi mtakuwa mkiondoa lile ambalo Wakenya wengi watakuwa wamepinga?
If you notice from 2024 that the voice of Kenyans have been heard, the common Kenyan has been heard. Apart from losing the finance bill in its entirety in 2024, the president heard the people of Kenya when they demonstrated in the streets and almost turned violent, yeah, and pulled out the finance bill that has been passed by the National Assembly. 2025, if you look at the bill that came to the National Assembly, it had minimal, if not zero, adjustments of tax rates, together also with the Tax Laws Amendment Bill of 2024. And this bill is the same. It is a response to people's comments It's a response to public participation. If you look at even the way I'm approaching this debate today, I am not speaking fast because I want Kenyans to understand what we are trying to do. We want to be as simple as possible. I am not even using technical terms. The moment we get feedback from Kenyans, National Assembly will introduce amendments to the bill, which then would correct those issues that Kenya has problem with, Kenyans have problem with. So it is not an academic exercise. It is an exercise that will inform the final product. And that is the problem I have with politicians out there who are telling Kenyans that reject, and you kindly allow me to say this, that reject the finance bill. And they're saying reject without even telling you what is wrong with it. Some of them have been ministers, and I want to pick one of them. You have been a minister in Uhuru's government for 10 years, my friend Fred Matiang'i. You passed finance bill, 10 of them, a lot of them with problems. Is it not true that there are so many finance bills that we passed with problem, which are hurting Kenyans, and they were passed? Instead of telling Kenyans reject, tell Kenyans, I have a problem with this provision in the finance bill. That is the responsible leadership. You cannot start on you address press conference without pointing out what you feel is wrong with the finance bill, and you tell Kenyans to reject. Is that the way you want to run the country as a president, where people will just be rejecting finance bills that you produce, and you want to be the president of this country, unless it's not serious? If you want to be president of this country, please tell us what is wrong with the finance bill. If I were you today, I would even bring counter proposals. I remember when Raila Odinga was still alive and put us in Economic Council, we were coming up with alternative proposals to the finance bill. I took a whole weekend analyzing finance bill of 2023, and I did that and gave to my party leader then. And he came out explaining to Kenyans what was wrong with the finance bill. What is wrong with this present opposition? Can they have some brains to help?
Umejibu extensively wanavyosema akina Sheila ambao wanazungumza Kiingereza. Sasa nipate swali moja kutoka kwa hadhira yangu hapa. Kuna huyu bingwa ambaye amenyosha mkono. Naomba tu usimame, anza kwa jina lako, alafu uliza swali. Sawa sawa?
Niko na swali. My name is Henry Otieno. I'm a student at Kenyatta University. My question is on the smartphone issue. I've had the CS for Treasury, from whom I have tremendous respect for, talked about it. You know, smartphone is our daily lives, and we use this smartphone to do our everything. I've seen an excess duty of 25% imposed on smartphone issue. And you know, smartphone is something that we do, even the applications that we do with it, even though they don't go through. This is our bank also, for us who have banks, but there is no money to go to the banks. This is where we at least get to retail the small amounts that we have. I want to know if at all this 25% is there and it is imposed, and how, if it is imposed, how are we going to do with our daily lives without this phone?
Okay. Asante.
The last one, please.
Mwisho kabisa, fupisha maswali yako.
Yangu sasa itakuwa kuomba. Mimi ni student kule Kenyatta University, nimekuja hapa kwa sababu CS ako hapa. CS, mimi nimefungiwa nyumba saa hizi ni 2 weeks. Nilipia rent 4,000 nirudi kwa nyumba. Hiyo ni kuomba. Asante sana.
All right, Waziri.
Tupate swali lako hapa. Waziri, I hope you're taking notes. Tuna swali nyingine hapa.
Is it on me?
I'm Darius Dedan.
I respond?
From the University of Nairobi. So my question is, if the economy improves, how soon will ordinary Kenyans actually feel the change? And if the economy improves, how soon will the ordinary Kenyans actually feel the change? And my second question, if you are an ordinary Kenyan earning minimum wage today, will you feel hopeful about the future?
All right. I think those questions would suffice for this particular moment as we allow the CS to answer those questions.
I have the last one.
And even as you ponder on those, Waziri, I want to steer this conversation kidogo away from that, and then we will answer the questions. Let's talk about, the filing changes. Now we see that the bill reduces the income tax returning file deadlines from 6 months to 4 months. So probably why this changes? Is this not going to pose a challenge for the common mwananchi and small businesses at the same time?
Thank you. Let me address this smartphone in a different way.
Okay.
First, the smartphone arrives at, say, Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, or it is brought to the shelf where you buy it. And the cost up to the point of the shelf is 10,000. Let's take that, for example. Today, there is excise tax of 10%. That is 1,000 shilling. There is customs duty of 25%. That is 2,500, right? There is VAT at 16%. That is 1,600. There is IDF at 2.5%. That is 250. There is RDL of 2%. That is 200 shillings. If you add all that, you find a tax of 5,500. So that phone would cost you today 15,500. Now, what is the new change doing? The new change is saying that phone will be at the shelf.
Okay.
No, it will remain at 10 shilling,
Yes.
10,000. When you buy it, now you pay tax. So the time you buy it, you'll only pay one tax. You will not pay customs duty. You will not pay VAT. You will not pay IDF, and you will not pay RDL. But you'll pay excise duty not at 10%, but at 25%.
All right.
All the other taxes have been removed. And that means you pay 2,500. So the phone that would have costed you 15,500 would end up costing you 12,500 with the tax. Is that making it expensive or making it cheap? That is the explanation I would give and have given.
All right.
Now,
the next question.
the other question was, if economy improves, how soon will it be felt? There are some of the benefits of an improved economy that comes immediately. One of them, you will see interest rates. If you go to the bank, you find interest rate is at 22%. You may find that when you go to the bank in an economy that is improving, the interest rates have come back down from 22% to say 15, 16%. That is an economy that is improving. The other one is where economy is creating more jobs. Because really, what economy must do is to create jobs. The other one is if you go to the bank and you want to buy foreign exchange, you will get it easily, and you get it in a manner that it is affordable. So those are signs. And an economy that improves is an economy that can feed its people.
All right.
So when people are eating, people are feeding themselves and can afford, that is an economy that has improved. Sometimes it takes time for this to be realized because economy takes time to be revived, especially where it has been run down so badly that now to bring it up, you require a lot of effort.
Okay.
On the issue of, you are the one who has asked this, on filing.
Yes.
You know what we are saying is this, that the income year, the year of reporting, ends on 31st of December, right? The previous year. You have all the way at the moment up to June 30th. Now what happens is everybody waits for that June 30th, and then they jam the system. Now what we are saying, if you already know what you have earned, and most of us know how much we earned up to December, why do you wait until June to file your returns? We are not asking you to pay tax. You have already paid tax. It is just filing returns. You know, people are misunderstanding this like we are asking you now to pay tax early. No, you have already paid tax up to December. That tax is already paid. We are just saying file your returns by April 30th so that we don't have so many Kenyans. And you know Kenyan style of doing things. Even registering for voters, to vote, they come the last day. So here also they come the last day. And you know, if you fail to file your returns by 30th of June, and it goes to the following day, you will be penalized. So to avoid all those confusions, we are saying for personal income tax, where you already know the individual income tax, you already know how much you have paid anyway. Just tell us that up to December, I paid this, I earned this, and paid this. P9 is already there. So why do you wait until June?
All right.
That is what we are asking. File your returns by 30th of April. It is 4 months since the financial year ended, since you paid the tax.
Okay. All right. And
Sheila,
now,
I hope you'll be the first one to.
I already did file my tax. I don't my returns. I don't know about you. How are you? Mume file returns. Eh? Okay. All right. So wanasema wana income. Lakini sasa we had compiled a list of some of the proposals, and my co-host Brian Furaha on the other side, could you help us now tackle some of the proposals in this bill? And are we busting myths here? What are the facts and the fictions? Let's hear from you, Brian.
Yes, we're calling this segment fact or fiction. Basically, I went online, nikaona wasa wamejam sana, TikTok, Twitter, and some of these clauses or bills are what, you know, I would like you to actually maybe clear this up, whether it's true or not. So if it's fact, you say it's fact. If it's fiction, unasema this is fiction. The first one is residential income tax to rise from 7.5% to 10%. Is it fact or fiction?
Propaganda.
That's propaganda.
Fiction.
Thank you. There's a new bill that gives KRA power to collect data from your phone, i.e. tracking digital payments. Is this fact or fiction?
Pardon, come again?
A new bill that gives KRA the power to track your data from your phone. For example, digital payments.
That's fiction.
That's fiction.
A dangerous one. To incite, that is meant to incite the young generation. Please don't fall to that.
Thank you. There is an amendment of the Land Act removing freehold title deeds and turning them into leasehold. Is this fact or fiction?
Not in this bill.
Not in this bill.
I don't have it.
All right.
Okay. Thank you. And of course, this is very popular with you. 5% income on mitumba tax. Maybe you can clarify more on this because
it is not in this bill, but I want it. Let me be very clear on this.
Why do you want it in this bill?
I want that mitumba tax to be in the bill. It is not there, but I want it back. Let me tell you. The reason for public participation, and you're the ones who have been asking this, is it just academic exercise, public participation? It should not. The Mitumba representatives came to my office, led by their national chair, came to my office, and you heard them the other day supporting that position. They came and complained that at the moment, when they arrive with their Mitumba in containers, they are being taxed. There are so many taxes that are being levied on their mitumba.
All right.
After that, then immediately they bring their mitumba to Gikomba and open their shops. Then KRA staff are all over the place asking them to compute how much profit they have made. So they asked me to come up with a simple tax regime for them. And I put them together with my team at the Treasury. And they're the ones who agreed first VAT to be charged only once at the point of entry, so that you don't follow mitumba all the way to Nakuru, to Kisumu Kibuye market, to Magunga market in Suba, and you start asking how much VAT. So that we were eliminating by having only one VAT at the point of entry. Two, instead of disturbing these business people, who are small business people anyway, to calculate their profit and to hire accountants to file these returns, why don't we be simple? At the point of entry, calculate the value of the mitumba, deem 5% of it as profit, and tax that 5%. So 5% If he has brought goods worth 1 million, 5% of 1 million is 50,000. 50,000, you tax 30%. That is 15,000. That is the tax that you charge them, and you forget about Mitumba person for life until he brings or she brings another container. People who don't understand Mitumba business are all over the place. They are the ones making noise. Lawyers in town who don't even know how to sell floaters. And they are the ones who are telling us that we are adding tax on Mitumba. Why can't they leave the Mitumba people to talk?
All right.
Mitumba people are so organized. If we were bringing a proposal that they don't want, you would hear them in the street. They would be demonstrating to Treasury building. Why are they making the loudest noise more than the bereaved? You know? I saw another friend of mine, Willis, writing a long paragraph. And he has no understanding, no clue about Mitumba. I don't think he has even won Mitumba in his life. He doesn't even know.
And I'm assuming we do have some Mitumba stakeholders here with us in this particular town hall. And I would be tasking Brian to find them so that we can get to hear from them.
And if they don't want the tax, sorry, Sheila, if they don't want the tax, let them say that we don't want to go that route. Then we leave it. I will not make that proposal to the National Assembly.
All right, so let's still go back to Brian.
Yes. Sorry? I have a question from someone online. And Waziri, I feel like this is very necessary. This is on Twitter. He's called XG Boost. Can you clearly name one major financial burden that ordinary Kenyans will pay less for because of Finance Bill 2026? Not theoretically, but practically. The government also promised to exempt or relieve payee for earners of less than 30K, or at least some relief. Is that also included? That is one of our viewers.
So one of the things that Kenyans will pay for, if you lose your parent today, who is supposed to be a pensioner, or is a pensioner, and you are the beneficiary, without this finance bill, you will be taxed on that pension. With this finance bill, if it goes through, you will get the benefits as a beneficiary without paying tax. The question that is asking about, I have already answered it. The question of those who are earning 30,000 and below, 50,000 and below. This is something that we talked about. I talked about it, the president talked about it. And I've said severally that we have not abandoned it. We are processing this issue. Before the finance bill is concluded, we will have made a decision. Remember, we are in a very tricky situation. The war in Iran has completely disorganized our economy. And many, many other things. Look at even now, we are supposed to subsidize fuel more. So we have so many things to attend to. But even with that, we are still committed to ensuring that those who are paying taxes and they are earning low income, we want them to have a relief.
All right. And speaking of relief, Waziri, and you know, we are talking about, we're trying to find stakeholders who are in this town hall, and Josh will be linking up with them in a few. But before we do talk to them and still get more questions from the audience, you had earlier indicated that those earning up to 30,000 would receive a tax relief. Why was that not included in the finance bill?
It's actually the one that I've just addressed.
Yes.
I told you that first, you see, we were operating in a relatively perfect environment. Then something happened that clearly we are losing more revenue with this war. We are likely to incur more expenditure with this war. So we were still working on the numbers to see if we give this relief with all these holes that we have, what is the effect? Because we have also a budget to finance. Sheila, I wish I had time just to break down to Kenyans how we are spending the revenue that we are likely to collect. Then you'd know what I'm talking about. However, because it was a commitment that we made, it is something that we are still actively pursuing and considering. So before we conclude this finance bill, you will get the proper announcement whether we are capturing it, carrying it along in Parliament, because we still have this bill under public participation.
All right, and from there, I know there are a lot of burning questions from the audience side. Andrine Kilemi, I do not know if you are in touch with some of the people who have burning questions by show of hands. And Dream, could you get to them? Let's hear, tell us your name, where you're from, and what is your question. Very brief and precise. And let's not repeat what has been asked before, yeah? So, Andrew?
All right. Thank you so much, Sheila. Of course, we have very many hands here. But I think just to save on time, I'll ask this gentleman to be upstanding. Please shoot your question. Make it very brief. Sawa sawa?
Thank you.
Asante.
Waziri, my name is Kevin Mbadi, and I'm in the transport sector. Even though fuel costs now are being affected by the global ongoings, and also I know the reality of our national financial status, I would like you to know I would like to know what steps, as a prudent government, you are put in place to ensure roads will be maintained. Number two, we continue to train our people, our members. However, accidents are still a real concern. What plans have you put in place to support this? Thank you.
All right. Asante sana. Do we have another question?
Thank you, Waziri. I'm happy to see you here as a Waziri because you were my AP for 15 years from Super South. Waziri, one day I heard you addressing the government officials, you among them, and you requested that if any case there are people in government who are misusing funds, you pleaded with them that if they are taking 100, they can even reduce and take 50. My question is this: the problem with the Kenyans, wamezima mic.
No, you are.
The problem with Kenyans, with this government, is trust. Right now, you are increasing the tax base so that you capture majority. Meaning, people who are paying tax are very few. And the issue is, even the little which is being collected cannot be accounted for. We want to see this government even arresting five people and putting to jail. You have admitted that you inherited a rotten system. And what are you doing about it? We will be very happy when we see at least even 5 government officials arrested. And if they're not paying tax, who is giving them this immunity? Who is protecting them and why? Thank you very much.
All right. Waziri, would you answer that?
Yes, thank you very much. Now, the first question was from, by the way, he's not my brother, but he's called Mbadi, I think, with a hyphen there. Now, he has asked about guarantee on maintenance of roads. The guarantee on maintenance of roads, I will tell you, yes, things are difficult, things are thick, but we have the road maintenance levy, which is 18 shillings per litre. The 7 shillings per litre, it is 25 shillings, but the 7 shilling we used to do the major roads, the major construction and payment of the contractors, the road construction works that are stalled. But the 18 shillings is still helping in maintaining roads. We are also allocating extra budgets. I will tell you that it's almost 70 billion that we added in the development budget for the 2026-27 to do our roads and maintain them. So there should be no much worry. I know Kenya in this region has the longest kilometers of paved roads, and that we are very proud of that. But we have deployed resources to make sure that those roads are maintained. In terms of accidents, there are a number of strategies that we are employing. One of them is the instant fines that we are introducing through the NTSA. We are also looking at how we can streamline that sector in terms of insurance, because it's a problem. There is a problem. And we are also pleading with the players in that space. I know you are in the border space. Your members, kindly talk to them to behave on the roads. And also, we talk to the matatu operators to behave. Sometimes, the matatu operators, the boda behave on the roads. A few of them, not all of them, by the way. Many are disciplined. But some behave like they own the roads. So let us make sure that we respect the rules and we respect, so that we take care of our lives and the lives of others. On the Suba South person, I did not say that if you are stealing 100, start stealing 50. These are some of the, when you give, how do I put it? When you give comparisons and examples that people misunderstand you.
So you were misunderstood.
What I said was this, that assuming, we said there is it's a former president who said we lose 2 billion every day. And we have 365 days in a year, or 366 in some years. Now, I said if people are stealing 2 billion, assuming those who are stealing, it was reduced to half, they steal half. Assuming does not mean go and steal half. I said you make an assumption. Those of us who are mathematicians, we used to make assumption. So if you make an assumption and say only 50% is lost, that is 1 billion saved per day. That is 360 billion per year. I said the money that we borrow from IMF is less than 100 billion. Why would I go to IMF to borrow money when we have 365 billion which can be got locally? Or double that if we could stop stealing, all of us. So that is what I said. I was just giving examples so that you can see the gravity of the theft of public funds. It is not that I was encouraging people to steal 50%. And I also said, most of you steal and you take it to Dubai. How I wish after stealing, bare minimum, you invest it here. So that instead of creating jobs in Dubai, Tanzania, and the rest, you create them here. We will arrest you after you have done that, but there will be jobs locally. Now, a trust deficit is there, and that is why we are getting to communicate better as a government. So that people can understand that. On accounting for resources and jailing people, remember what I can do as Minister for Finance is to come up with legal framework and administrative measures that would deter theft of public funds. One of them is the e-procurement that I just introduced. And many others. We have Treasury single account. I've brought a lot of reforms, including on human resource. The government has implemented now what we call an integrated system of payment, which is being rolled out before the end of this year, so that we cut on opportunities that people had to steal our resources. But in terms of jailing, remember, we are a democratic society. You arrest someone, you take that person to jail, then before the case starts, they have appealed. They have filed a petition on constitutional reference. That is, constitutional rights are being abused. I don't know how you have stolen our money and you are still claiming constitutional rights. But we are a democracy. If we went and started picking these people and detaining them, we would see you here in the streets demonstrating human rights violation. And it is true. So allow the law to take its course. Allow our constitution to function. We have a judiciary. People will be arrested, taken there. Some will be released. Some will go through the process. Some are jailed, by the way. But we need more people to be, more action to be taken. I agree. Our judiciary, I'm sure, will not let us down on this.
All right.
Yes.
Sheila, tunapoendelea na mazungumzo haya, tusikilize baadhi tu ya maswali pia hapa. Kuna binti hapa, naomba usimame ili uulize swali lako kwa kifupi.
Asante sana. Kwa majina ni Rosalie Nalionya, agency, and I want to first thank all of you, whether you support the bill or you think otherwise. You being here to raise the concerns for the CS to respond to them, inamaanisha ya kwamba we love our country. The reason why I'm saying that is because I lost my friends in 2024. I don't want us to repeat the same thing. Kama kitu ni mbaya, the CS is here. He is able to address. For those who are supporting certain sections, the CS is here. And whether you like it or not, I want you to clap for yourselves for being here. Secondly, there's a video that our friend Eric Omondi has made, and I know all of us have watched it, where he has rallied people to read the finance bill. And today in the morning he said that the government might be hiding behind price fuel so that they distract us from the finance bill. Sio kila mtu amewatch. Today we want to ask Waziri, kindly respond to our brother, but even as you do so, because if there's anything you could be hiding in the finance bill, using the fuel as a distraction, you are here to elaborate. But also, I want to urge our Kenyans today. Eric Omondi was not able... Listen. Ndio nauliza. Now I'm asking Eric Omondi, he was able kusema there are things that are wrong in the finance bill. He was not able to mention those things. That hypocrisy we will not allow. Kama unasema kitu ni mbaya, mention it in the finance bill.
All right. The House rules once again. All right, the House rules once again, guys. All right. Okay, we are asking you once again that, the House rules today was that we would respect each and everyone's point of view. And so we had agreed that there would be no heckling. And so I would ask you that we respect her point of view. We might not agree with it. And so I ask you all that once again, let's calm down and listen to these people. Everyone has a freedom of expression. All right. Okay. All right. All right. All right, so let me take this back to, all right, let me take it back to Waziri to just answer the question that has been asked. Of course, this is the Town Hall at TV47. And guys, I ask you all that we become calm. Guys, let's become as we let Waziri answer the question that has been given by our good lady here. Let's respect each other's opinions. It's not easy. Yes.
Aya, wacha nijibu.
All right.
Ngoja kwanza.
Okay.
You know, the question that my... Ngoja. Can I now address this question?
Yes, let's address it.
Tafadhali, please.
Yes.
Allow me address this issue.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Roslyn has asked. I have not watched Eric Omondi, but I'm told he has been knocking doors. And by the way, Eric Omondi is actually a very good gentleman. He's my friend. And over the years, we have fought together. So I don't want to demean what he's doing. I think what he has done for us is to enlighten people more on the finance bill. Is actually our friend, in my view, as National Treasury.
All right.
Because he's bringing forward a conversation. But let me just say this. Whether the issue of fuel is a distraction, if at all that can be a distraction, it would be a very costly distraction. I want you to hear me on this.
All right.
If that was a distraction, it would be a very costly distraction. I don't think any government would want such kind of distraction. And there were no major issues with finance bill to warrant such kind of a distraction.
Okay.
I will tell you this what we have lost because of the 2 days of demonstration as a country is so much that no sane government would employ such kind of a strategy. The finance bill that we have has no hidden provisions. It is there for public to read. If there is anything that anyone believes is offensive, is oppressive, is going to add burden to the people of Kenya, bringing it out.
Okay.
A number of them have been brought out. You have brought out the issue of phone because you think that is going to be a problem. You have brought out other issues like bottled water. We have addressed it. In fact, far from it, someone was saying that we are introducing excise duty on bottled water. Already, as we speak, there is excise duty. We are removing it. We are making bottled water cheaper because it is no longer luxury.
All right.
Then someone reported or brought it out on the opposite, that we are introducing finance bill. That is the kind of conversation that I want.
Okay.
And that is why I get really, really frustrated, Sheila. I don't know where you are in a hurry to, where do you want to go? You know, Sheila, that is the frustration that I have with the opposition.
Yes.
The opposition should address one press conference with finance bill and enumerate to Kenyans into details that, yes, the finance bill as published by Mbadi has this problem, has this problem, has this problem. Then I can engage them and explain myself or tell them you don't understand me, or I accept that what you have said is correct, we will withdraw this, we will remove this. But you cannot stand in a press conference if you want to be a president or you want to be a finance minister for the future in another government, and you tell us that the finance bill is bad, reject, without pointing out even one provision in the finance bill which you have a problem with. Then that becomes careless, reckless politics that should not be allowed in modern Kenya.
All right, we do have a few minutes to wind up this conversation, this particular town hall, and there are very many burning questions. But guys, I would ask you that we do this with a lot of decorum. Let's respect each other's point of view. Let's not heckle. Let's listen through the questions, because we are all here to understand the Finance Bill 2026. And just mbele yangu naona someone with a really burning question. I don't know if we could get a mic close to you. So Onsare, could you help me find this gentleman so that we can hear what are some of his concerns and what does he want the CS Treasury to answer in respect to the Finance Bill 2026. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Waziri Mbadi, I'm George Onyango from Kenyatta University. I have a question relating to the fuel subsidy issue. I have a question relating to the fuel subsidy issue. When you started, you stated that the government allocated around 17 billion for the fuel subsidy. On the first month, the government spent around 6.2 billion. On the second month, the government spent around 5 billion. And then you've stated that the government has again allocated around 2.7 billion in that 17 billion. My question is this. We are not yet sure when the Strait of Hormuz will be opened. Suppose like that subsidy amount, the 17 billion that was allocated for the subsidy, depletes. What are we going to do? Does our financial capability as a country allow us to get some other cash, some amount somewhere to subsidize the fuel issue? Number two, when we are talking about G2G, we know that our hands are tied as a country because we have got specific companies that were contracted under the G2G to import fuel into the country. And they have got their own specific points of imports where they bring the fuel. As a country, are we in that position that we can contact other companies outside the G2G so that we can get perhaps a cheaper fuel? Because we understand that these companies that were contacted under the G2G, they bring their fuel from probably Middle East countries. Sometimes you might find that these companies that you are going to contact outside the G2G, they can look for other avenues apart from the Strait of Hormuz. Then the last one, Waziri, this is just a concern. There's this issue about whenever you prepare the financial whatever, you put estimates for state departments on specific amounts they are supposed to use during a specific financial year. But there's this issue that always comes in, supplementary budgets. You find that most state departments, in their supplementary budgets, they tend to overuse their, like you find, financial year runs from June to June. But you find that probably after a quarter financial year, a specific State Department has already used the amount that it was allocated.
All right.
You realize that they tend to overspend.
Okay.
How are we going to cap that? Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much for that, for those three questions. But I would ask before the CS answers those three questions that if you're asking a question, let's ask one question each. Make it very short, and please let's not repeat what has been asked before. We want to get as many answers as possible, and I have seen that Andrine and Joash are on the audience. Can you find us? Who is the next one to ask the question?
All right, Sheila, I am over here and we have very many questions. Maswali ni mengi kutoka kwenye hadhira.
All right.
Lakini si hapa tu, hata mitandaoni naona ni mwecheche wanavyosema vijana.
Yes.
Na naomba niulize swali moja tu kutoka mitandaoni, kwenye mtandao wa X. Anajiita CPA Kamadhi Limuki. Anasema, please ask CS, why is the filing date being moved up from June to April? Most SMEs spend Q1 scouting for new businesses, making bookkeeping and eventual annual audits a Q1 priority in preparation for tax filing by end of June. Waziri, ningetaka swali hilo ushikilie papo hapo, lakini tupate maswali mengine kutoka kwenye hadhira hii. Tunao pia akina mama ambao wako kwenye hadhira, watakuwa kiuliza maswali. Naomba usimame.
Habari zenu. I'm Margaret Wayona from the human rights. I'm a human rights defender. And there is something that captured my eyes in that finance bill, Mr. CS. I don't know whether it's a comment. Those non-Kenyans that want to invest in Kenya, the VAT has been reduced from 37.5% to 30%. It's a plus because this will create job opportunities to Kenyans. That is a plus. You talked of propaganda. You can counter propaganda with the right information. That is all I wanted to air. And I know the shoes you are wearing, si rahisi, but anyway, thank you for that. It's a compliment.
All right.
Because many Kenyans will be able to get job opportunities. And we also urge investors to invest in Kisumu. Kisumu, UK, United Kisumu. Asanteni sana.
All right, I think we could start with that, Waziri. Get to just answer the questions from, the lady that we've had just conclude right now, and the gentleman that did ask three questions. Over to you, Waziri.
So I start with exhausting the fuel subsidy.
Yes.
Yes, we had just about 17 billion. And by the way, we built this reserve for any eventuality. Then eventuality struck. And we didn't know for how long this will take. So we took a decision as a government to be pragmatic and to be careful not to exhaust that subsidy the first month. So we used 6.2, now we used 5. But we have been forced now to use more because of the strike. If you have to subsidize or lower the price of fuel more, you have to spend from somewhere. That somewhere is the fuel subsidy. Okay? So the remaining amount may not be so significant, but we hope that things will happen in a way that prices will start coming down.
Yes.
In fact, I am being told that the prices in May had shown signs of coming down. If that happens, we may not require as much subsidy as we would have required. But up to the end of June, we now have just barely over 2 billion shillings if we spend this other 2.7.
All right.
And then after that, we will have another budget. So that is the answer. On G2G, you know the companies we have contracted are some of the world's leading oil marketing companies. The Saudi Aramco is known worldwide as a major oil marketing company. We have the Abu Dhabi is also known, the one in Abu Dhabi is also known to be one major oil marketing company, together with the one from Emirates. Now, all these companies have the capacity to source for fuel elsewhere. As a matter of fact, the fuel that they are supplying us with today is not from that Middle East. Because you can't get fuel from Middle East.
Yes.
They are going elsewhere. So there is no need to even look for another oil marketing company to source for fuel for you elsewhere. These companies are already doing that. And the benefit, Sheila, that probably Kenyans have not appreciated is that this G2G, we locked the freight charges with the contract that we signed. Today, the logistics costs, the premium, the insurance, combined is at least 230 US dollars per metric ton.
Yes.
But they are still supplying us with between 78 and 97 US dollars per metric ton because we have a contract with them. It is a benefit to us. If that did not happen, prices would even go up.
Okay.
On supplementary budgets, sometimes some expenditures cannot be predicted. Like when we had drought and we spent close to 13 billion, we didn't know we would have drought. So supplementary budget comes in there. There are other sectors like security.
All right.
NIS has not been appreciated, but they stop and help this country in many, many cases where we probably would have been victims of serious attacks. So when they come to ask for more money to support their operations, we cannot explain to Kenyans into details what they are actually doing with that money. So that is why we allow some security expenditure. If there is a problem in Rift Valley, for example,
All right.
we have to take security officers there. They have to live there. They have to eat. We have to give them equipment and all that. That comes to supplementary budget. On my friend CPA Kamathi, I think he has a question that we had already addressed, but let me address it. The issue of filing of returns. It is individual income tax.
All
It's
right.
the salaried people. It's not those small businesses that are given up to 30th.
All right.
Margaret, I agree with you, Margaret. Non-residents, we have lowered the tax rate to 30%. This is to motivate and encourage people who are coming to invest in Kenya to pay lower corporate tax as opposed to what they are paying today. And you see, this is also good because we are standardizing and making uniform corporate tax at 30%. So that some people don't pay 37.5 and others are paying 30%.
All right.
So it is, I agree with you, it is a benefit.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Waziri, we want to wrap up, but before that, one last question from Andrine Kilemi, and then you could be thinking about your parting shot to Kenyans who are feeling the pinch of the high cost of living. Probably, what would you tell them? All right, Andrine Kilemi, take over before
All right.
Waziri answers that.
Thank you, Sheila. We still have very many questions online, but I'll just highlight one. How does the government justify increasing the tax burden on a generation whose creative economy already contributes approximately 5% to Kenya's GDP, while formal employment remains limited and over 18 million Kenyans survive through informal and digital economic activity? That is, I am Batman, who is following online. We have one comment and one question, Waziri, if you could allow us kindly. So we'll start with you, ma'am.
Good evening. I'm a mother and a comrade. My name is Dina Waragai, and I'm a social justice activist and a women's rights advocate. Waziri, I just want to encourage you. I know that seat is hot, but you're equal to the task. I'm engaging with the bill, and I'm seeing that MSMEs are going to have a good environment because the cost of doing business will be lowered. And also tax filing is not going to be complicated. Waziri, I also want to encourage you that even as you do what you're doing, which is unique, you're the first finance minister that is demystifying the docket by meeting the people where they are at. So that is a plus. And I also want to say that as you go along, please take the people with you. Sometimes people get angry because they are not communicated to effectively. And so I'm urging you to make sure that you have people on the ground that are communicating what it is that you have in these bills, and so that the nation can understand, and do it in a language that people can understand. Just like you say, kulipa ushuru ni kujitegemea. Come up with other slogans like those ones that are simple, that the common mwananchi can understand. But otherwise, I wish you well, because if you fail, we also fail, and we don't want to fail. Thank you.
Thank you. One last question from my end. Yes.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Munyoki Mwangangi, a social justice crusader. Waziri, having a prudent tax regime that is not guarded against stealing is equivalent to robbing an orchard at night and getting away with the fruit before it is ripe. What are the measures that you are taking to ensure that our tax, when you take them, they are not stolen? Number two, Waziri, why do you tax a mobile phone when they are sold? Because when you tax that mobile phone on the sale, the one who bears the burden is the buyer. Because the seller will increase the price in order for the buyer to buy. Now, why don't you wait until I buy the phone, and then you tax my creativity with the phone? Thank you.
Asante sana. Back to you,
Okay,
Sheila.
Those will be the last set of questions that Waziri is answering before we wrap up, and he gives us his parting shot. Let's begin with the first question.
Thank you. The first question that you asked, I think that was a political statement, where someone, the one you read from where
Twitter.
did you get it from?
From X.
X space. I say so because the person has just said we are taxing, people are creative. It is. I was listening to hear which specific provisions in the finance bill which we have proposed is targeting creative economy. I don't see it in the bill. So I took it as a political statement, and there are many such political statements. I agree that we are making MSMEs better in terms of simplifying the tax. And that is why I was appealing to those who are resisting the tax on Mitumba, kindly allow these MSMEs to be taxed the way they want and the way they have suggested. Demystifying the ministry, yes, I am trying my best to open up this ministry and communicate better. Some people who have a problem with that are saying I'm talking too much. I will talk too much until Kenyans understand what is going on at the National Treasury, if that is what is required for Kenyans to engage. Why do you tell me not to talk? Yeah? My business is not to just sign files at the Treasury. I want to communicate with Kenyans. I want to hear you. I want to feel you. You should hear me and feel me. Yes. On stealing of taxes, what have I done? The area where we have identified, and we identified where we lose a lot of money, is procurement. You will agree with me that in this country we are operating where if you don't know someone, you can hardly get business with any government department. We have decided to do away with that by digitizing, bringing e-procurement. It has been resisted for almost a year, but we are succeeding because now e-procurement, the argument they used to have, it is not working. I don't know whether you are hearing that anymore. It has proved that it is working. From July 1st, there will be no exemption.
All right.
Everybody, any government department, ministry, department, agencies will go to e-procurement and procure. You will not procure outside e-procurement. I will not give those exemptions anymore. I allowed the space because this was the first year of implementation, but we have agreed that the whole government will go e-procurement. 2, on Treasury single account, we have already implemented it. It is saving us a lot of money. Some invoices were being paid so many times. The government could have money in one account and borrowing from in another account because you are not able to see all the money that the government has.
All right.
Now we have a Treasury single account where we can see all our accounts and all the money that is sitting in those accounts. We are doing a lot to improve our systems to make sure that we stop the theft of public funds. But sometimes people mistake me for being a police officer. You think I'm Director of Public Prosecution. I am Minister for Finance. I put in place systems, the legal framework that would deter theft. Then there are other institutions like EACC, like Auditor General, like Controller of Budget. All these institutions are now supposed to kick in and use the legal framework that we have put in place to apprehend and get and deter theft of public funds.
All right, asante sana Waziri for the in-depth analysis that we have had of the finance bill. Perhaps any last parting shot?
No, the parting shot from me is that first I want to thank Kenyans very much and thank the audience that we have had here. We have had perfect engagement. I am ready, I am sitting here to engage on all issues, finance, all matters, national treasury, issues of governance. I will be ready anytime to come back and explain anything that has not been understood. I want to plead with you and appeal to Kenyans. Please, this country called Kenya is only one. If we destroy it, if we ban it, we will not have another country. It is not easy to live in exile. Let us not behave carelessly and recklessly. If there is a problem of governance, let us point to that problem and deal with it. If there is a problem with finance bill, let us point it out so that we can remove it. But it is careless and reckless to incite people to go to the streets to oppose and reject a finance bill without telling them anything that is wrong with that bill.
Okay.
It is careless, it is reckless, it is a clear demonstration that you are not mature enough to lead this country. If you are a leader,
thank you very much, CS Treasury John Mbadi, for the insightful conversation we've had around the Finance Bill 2026. And of course, the conversation does not end here. So let's take this conversation online on all our digital platforms on TV47KE, TV47 Digital, all over TikTok, Instagram, X. Let's have this conversation. I am Sheila Chelangat, but I have not been alone. I have been with my colleagues, Andreen Kilemi, Joash Onsare, and of course, Brian Furaha. So for tonight, we call it a wrap, but for you, keep it TV47, and asante sana for watching.
Thank you. Asante sana.
All right.
Thank you, Sheila.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.